Hello everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do the weekly reading for the lovely sign of Pisces. All right. Pisces, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for being on board with me and all the support you give me. We are going to use the Light Seers Tarot. I don't know what I've done with my hair here. The Light Seers Tarot for your reading. Please keep in mind that the readings are only general. That means they may not resonate with you. If they don't resonate with you, make sure you check out other aspects of your natal chart. If you are unsure how to do that, you can Google natal chart and it will bring up several different places that you can do a natal chart with. And it's good to know where everything was when you were born. Okay. If the reading does resonate with you, please make sure you give it a thumbs up so we can help to grow the channel. The winds of change. Spirit is saying here for you, the winds of change. All right, let's see where that's taking us. All right, so we have the Hanged Man coming through. I have a feeling we got this on the daily read out front this morning. The Hanged Man is a card that talks about taking time out to see things from a different perspective. Not always does this come because we choose to take time out, although we can. So it might be that, for example, that you've had your heart set on something and it's gone in the wrong direction, and now you're trying to work out which direction you want to go in, perhaps seeing things differently. But sometimes the Hanged Man could come when the world or the universe is sort of waiting for you to go through some sort of healing phase. So it might be that the universe is putting you on a little bit of a hiatus, a little bit of a pause, because you need to change some way of doing things, or you need to see some way of doing things differently. Because sometimes this can come as a result of making a choice that didn't work out for you as well as you thought it would, or making some sort of decision that hasn't taken you in the direction you wanted to go in. Sometimes we can do this if, for example, we've had a lifetime of believing some sort of illusion that has been laid out in front of us. We may have this illusion that, life is meant to go a certain way, and when it doesn't, we then have to see things very, very differently. So whatever this is for you, you'd be probably sort of feeling a bit stuck at the moment. Wow, okay, I see this completely. Beautiful energy with the Six of Pentacles. I feel like there's some people here who believe or feel that they can't make things in the universe work the way they want them to. So, for example, the universe works in a certain way and we can manifest the things we want. The thing is, sometimes the universe knows what's best, and even though we may manifest something, it may not exactly come off the way we wanted it to. We've all done that. For example, we've wished we could have a certain kind of job, and the job has been given to us, and then all of a sudden we're like, this is nothing like I thought it was going to be. This is that, planning a big party and it just doesn't go off as well as you thought. There is some sort of investment you're doing here, expecting the universe to bring you exactly what you want, and it's not coming in the form or shape that you wanted it. And because of that, you're now having to go and review what you did. Haven't you ever gone on a date where you've been so enamored by someone, you thought they were the most amazing thing, just so gorgeous to look at, and you go on a date and they're just nothing like you would like in a person? That's the sort of energy I'm getting here. I've manifested this incredible person into my life, and they're exactly the opposite to me. This ain't gonna work. So something here, the universe is saying you're manifesting this, but actually you might have to go back to the drawing board because it may not be what you want. We have the drawing board. We have the Hermit card here. So what we're doing here is now really taking time out, and we may have thought about it here, but now we're taking time out to really understand who we are and what do we want. So the Hermit card is very much a card of going really deep inside to decide how to move forward now. Maybe somehow or another with this sort of energy, You've started to realize that perhaps it's bigger than you thought it was. Maybe one thing has happened, but now you're realizing that actually this has happened quite a lot. Maybe I'm always going after the wrong kind of person. Maybe I keep pushing myself in a career that doesn't really serve me. You could have gone from job to job to job and keep ending up with the same situation. Something here does not serve you. And there is definitely this energy of having to go deep inside. There's a decision you've got to make here. You will make a good decision here. But there's a decision you have to make, and you're currently balancing this out. Maybe going backwards and forwards, deciding how you're going to change. That's why Spirit was talking about the winds of change. There's something here, some way of doing things, some way of thinking that is no longer serving you here. And you're having to make a decision to move in a different direction because what you've been experiencing is not right for you. For some of you, this can be about work. Maybe choosing jobs where you're always you never get to use your skills. Maybe you're choosing jobs where you go in with lots of enthusiasm, feeling incredibly creative. And maybe you always get to do the menial jobs, which don't really expand your curiosity or your creativity. You may not get to use your imagination. For others of you, this is relationships. Keep picking the wrong person. All right, so we have the King of Swords coming through here. And he's a very handsome King of Swords, this one. Very handsome. He's quite wise too with the owl there. But the King of Swords can represent Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. So you could be dealing with one of those people. This person very often for me denotes a divorcee. Someone who's been through some sort of separation here. So this could be your energy. This person is in deep contemplation mode. They know they need to make a change. There's a bat there which talks of transformation. There's a crow or raven that talks about death and rebirth. So this person is going very, very deep inside and using his intellect to work out which direction to go in. Very much taking on that energy at the moment there. We have the Seven of Swords coming through. Wow, okay, with the Eight of Swords. Whoa, with the Three of Swords. A lot of swords energy. A lot of swords energy. So I feel like whatever this situation is that you have been in deep contemplation about, trying to understand how to manifest, how to bring in the right thing for you, and you've got yourself really up in your head about it here. And we have the Three of Swords here. So there may have been some heartbreak for you as well. But you're learning to look at this from a completely different perspective. It could be that somebody did something here and broke your heart. Somebody could have done something that made you question why you had chosen to go in this direction. Whatever this is for you, it really is helping you to really understand perhaps what you've been doing up till now hasn't served you. There is definitely this feeling here of needing to be more objective, needing to be more of an observer, not being so much in your emotion, seeing things for what they actually are. Because I feel like here you've got trapped in some sort of situation here, and you may have had to really try to get out of this situation in some way, shape or form. And it's created a lot of stress for you, and maybe made you feel quite sad about having to move away from somebody here. You could have been dealing with either a job or a person that was quite almost abusive here. And maybe not abusive in a physical sense, but maybe abusive in a very emotional sense. And maybe here you've kept trying, you've kept persevering with something, but now you're starting to realize maybe this isn't the only person you've met like this. Maybe it's not the only job you've had. Maybe it's a several time thing with a family member or a friend, but now you're realizing something has to change here. Something has to change. And I feel that you're looking at yourself to understand why you've been doing what you've been doing. All right, so we have the Knight of Wands, followed by the Queen of Cups. See, I love this. You're getting into your own energy here, finding your self-love, King of Pentacles. So the energy you're coming through with then is like you're moving out of this energy of overthinking, beating yourself up, giving yourself a hard time, sort of emerging in your own emotion, trying to work out what you've done a certain way here. But I see you now finding your passion, finding you're grounding yourself, you're understanding this energy of self-love here. So maybe you're starting to understand this pattern you've been creating. May have been because you've been finding people who've been reflecting back to you something for you to work on within yourself. And maybe this has happened more than once here, because there's very much this energy of circling like the drain before you go down the drain. So this has been like the last time you'll do things this way. I feel that's for sure. You won't do this anymore, because I realized you've seen a pattern here. You've seen what you've been doing, and you're changing who you are. You're changing your approach. You're coming in with a very different way of doing things this time. All right, look, another one. Two of Swords coming through. All right, with the Six of Wands, beautiful. Nice to have a victory card here with the Three of Pentacles. Self-investing. Okay, so what you've done here is you've realized that maybe you're pulling in people that don't treat you well because you don't treat yourself well. That's very evident here. It's like you're having to self-invest now. Understand your love of self, putting the energy into loving yourself more so that you can bring people in. So what you're doing here is you're vibrating at at a particular level where you're bringing in people who are vibrating the same as you. So if you're not loving yourself, then you're bringing people who love you for the same thing, which means that they're loving you the same way you think you deserve to be loved at. There is a decision here you need to make, because you've got the victory card and we do have the Three of Pentacles, which is a complete change of direction. All right, so I have you looking at something from a different perspective. I feel like you keep manifesting or bringing in people perhaps who don't put in as much as you do. You may be bringing in, say, for example, emotionally unavailable people. So what you need to do is go back to the drawing board, because every relationship is a reflection of who we are. So you need to go back to the drawing board and ask yourself, is this what I want? Because if you aren't loving yourself, nobody's going to be able to love you. Well, that's not true. You're just not going to get the type of the reciprocal love that you're after. So you're doing the hermit thing here, and there seems to be some sort of balance being brought in, some sort of decision here that's taking you in a different direction. You're letting go of an old way of thinking here and putting in some work to bring in a new way of thinking. You may be getting rid of some sort of addictive type personality disorder, so something like codependency. You know, maybe the neediness. Maybe you're bringing in people because you need to have someone in your life, in which case you're bringing in needy people. So just understanding here that this energy is reflecting back to you what you need to heal. And this is beautiful because you have the Wheel of Fortune here. So something here has gone full circle. You're learning from this. And because you're learning from this, you will now bring in the right people for you. So there's a lesson learned here. Now, what I do see here is this energy of having to make some sort of decision now. And I feel like the decision is about investing in yourself. Self-love. Knight of Pentacles coming through. Deciding what you want and being really sure. Oh, wow, look, Page of Pentacles. And the Four of Cups. Okay. So what you're doing here is you're learning now, if it's not right, I can let it go. This is codependent energy coming through. So it's like you've been perhaps putting up with things because you thought you didn't deserve anything more. So there's definitely this energy here of feeling like you don't deserve to be loved the way that you need to be loved. And this is somewhat this energy of learning. There's some sort of karmic contract that you're completing here around your own self-love and about how to love yourself. But this is changing here. You're making a decision to change this energy. This isn't something that you are, fleeting with. This is something now you are understanding. I keep meeting people that are reflecting something to me that I need to now go back and understand what that is. I feel like for some of you, this is about meeting like emotionally unavailable people. You might be meeting more narcissistic people. But learning how your energy is attracting these people in will help you to understand how not to do that in future. There's a completely different energy coming through from you now. Oh, there you go. The answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. 72. This card is a reminder that it's important to speak your truth, but remember that your words have consequences and impact your listener. Right now you need to guard against indiscretion. The answers you need may well come soon. The issue you're facing could be one of few conversations from being resolved. If you're inquiring about a love situation, a little flirting may be called for. If you're in the middle of an argument, this card comes to you as a reminder of the old, very non-Gemini message, least said, soonest mended. It's good to talk, but be careful your words aren't causing yourself any issue. Words have enormous power. I feel like here there's something that's really standing out for me, and it's if you're inquiring about a love situation, a little flirting may be called for. And that really stands out for me here, because I feel like the universe is saying to you here, obviously the winds of change are coming. You need to change something and do things differently. And when I see that flirting thing, I'm feeling I need to say to you, don't take relationships so seriously. Don't expect every relationship you have to end up in a serious commitment. Have fun. Have fun with it until you really feel that the person is giving you back. I feel like a lot of people go out and think as soon as they meet someone, this is it. This is my person for a lifetime. And you don't even know that person for several months. So maybe take it a little bit more lightly and give yourself time to make sure that you are not getting into the same situation again. And then you can break the cycle. Thanks, Pisces.